They've got wacko firewalls everywhere on this. You're like the guy at Hurlingham, aren't you, for this?
Right, good morning from the NCC, day 4 of the AC Worlds, and we've got the end of the block play combined with the playoffs today. So we're featuring this playoff game, which is winner qualifies, loser gets out, between Lachlan Berryman, who's just shot from third corner, fourth turn, and Ben Rothman, who looked as if he was in all sorts of trouble this tournament, and then beat Reg Bamford to get into this playoff. So, winner takes all, single game. Lockie laid a really, really long tice, about 18, 19 yards, and Ben hit partner, took off to the tice, and then croqueted the tice back towards partner on the east boundary, and he played it really, really well. So gave himself this really short rush that wasn't a double from A bulk or B bulk. I don't recommend it as a tactic because it's just too difficult. But he should get an easy chance now for a 5th turn break to 4 back. Ben, remember, was the losing finalist at this venue in 2009. Lost to Reg Bamford. But Ben will be delighted to be in this position. I say he lost 3 early games and it looked as if he was out, and then he managed to pull out that win against Reg and win all his other games. So he'll be feeling more confident. Elsewhere, we've got some peg down games from last night. It gets very dark here early, so about 7 o'clock. Yeah, about 7 o'clock it gets dark. And whilst we do have floodlights on 3 of the lawns, it's up to the players. Both players need to wish to play under lights for them to actually be forced to use them effectively, or agree to use them. Lawns again here in fantastic condition, and they speed up as the day goes on, and the weather is quite unusual. It's really still here at 8 o'clock in the morning, and then by the time you get to about 10:30 you start to get a little bit of breeze, and then by 2 o'clock it's picked up to a genuine slight wind, and the lawns are so quick that there is a wind gradient. So as the day goes on, the lawns do get trickier. Ben's rush to hoop 1 there. Not bad. Slightly overcut. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
1 hour.
So I always practice this approach in my 10-minute warm-up. I'll have 6 or 7 approaches to hoop 1 from varying positions, and this is one of the shots I will have practiced in the warm-up. Quite easy to get this shot wrong, and the hoops first thing are really quite challenging. They've been set very accurately, and I know they're about 64th.
37. Australia.
Later on this afternoon, we'll have the draw ceremony, where we get to see what the knockout draw is going to look like. And Ben's failed hoop 1. And that was really from 10 degrees at not much more than a foot. So it does give you an idea, the challenge that the hoops are posing these players first thing in the morning. Hoops in fresh holes every 2 days. And this is a fantastic opportunity now for Lockie. It's only about a 15-yarder. Yellow hits that, hopefully rushing it to the south boundary. And even if he doesn't, there's a line of play that allows him to get hoop 2 par near. In fact, 2 in this occasion, because he could go to red. But let's see if he can hit in first. This will be one of the key shots of the match. overall, there's a lot of players not quite playing up to their full ability yet. I think the two players who I've looked at who look most comfortable playing here are two Stevens, actually. It's Stephen Mulliner and Stephen Forster. And they're both very experienced players, and both players that start to struggle a little bit when power is required. But these lawns are a lovely speed, and you can just stroke the ball. And you know, Stephen Mulliner's won Sonoma Crutra multiple times. Stephen Forster, very experienced player, side style. And they both look comfortable on the lawn at the moment. So Lockie's missed that really important shot. But now Ben has a really quite a tough pickup from here. He won't turn around and hit the ball on the boundary, I don't think. Although it is playable back through two back. He could not run hoop one. He could just immediately turn around and pick it off. He will probably look at that as an option. I'll be a bit surprised if he takes it. I think he'll probably run hoop one past partner and then rush it back to the south boundary. But he is looking at that shot now. Yeah. So this is a shot I'd never take. Ben's got a straighter swing than I have. So the fact that the hoop's there won't affect him quite as much. I would just run this past the partner ball, rush it back down to the south boundary to yellow, and gradually pick up the break with a precision pickup. But that's difficult. It is sort of easier to hit that 1 6-yarder, and then you've got 3-ball break again straight away. So Ben, clear favourite for the game. He probably won't want to risk missing yellow and giving Lockie an easy start. So running this past blue. And you probably want to rush this about 3 yards west of the yellow. Gives you enough room to dig the blue ball out a bit whilst getting a really good rushed fourth corner area. Where the red is probably a couple of feet outside corner 4. So he's got a bit of room to work with. It's going to be quite a challenging turn. Otherwise, in the whole tournament scheme of things, there's a few Americans who are looking quite strong. So Zach Watson, Kyle Maloof, both playing very well. Matthew, I don't think he's quite at 100% yet. The one thing I'm looking for from the players is, are they going to go round third turn? And at the moment, nobody's been looking like doing that consistently. In addition to that, lots of the players have been putting down standard triples. So I watched Samir Patel against Reg Bamford yesterday. And Samir had a standard triple and only got to rover and peg. And then Reg had a standard triple and broke down at 2-back with 1 peel done. Then I think Robert Fulford put a standard triple down. It's the extra pull of the balls that's making it that little bit more difficult. And I wouldn't, if we go back to Ben here, Ben's defensified the blue. I would have much rather had it further out of corner 1 so I can attack after making hoop 2. Not a tight rush to corner 4 either. Good shot though. It's just gone off about a yard north of corner 4. He should be able to get a rush on red to hoop 2 from there. The occasional boundary here isn't trustworthy. There's the odd slope out. I think this is okay, this area though that he's in. Tends to be more the edges, whereas this is a centre part of the 4 middle lawns rather than a pure edge. So yeah, if you ask me who's going to win, I can't tell you. Robert Fletcher was another person who got a standard TP yesterday and put it down. Where's that gone? That is just in. So just gone 2 balls too far. So the rush is pointing between hoop 3 and hoop 6. So he's going to have to cut this. And he won't have a problem with generating the power.
No, that's wrong.
But it is a lot more difficult now. The fact he's got to 3/4 ball this. Anything within 4 yards to hoop 2 is okay here. Not a bad effort, that.
Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, about 4 yards east of hoop 2. Doesn't just want to make hoop 2. He needs a rush somewhere. Now, he's got 3 options. He can rush back to partner near corner 1, rush down to corner 4 to yellow, or equally valid, rush straight to hoop 3. So any of those options are good, but he does need a rush somewhere. Just playing a straightforward takeoff. So that limits his options in terms of getting tight rushes anywhere. I think I'd have played a genuine croquet stroke there and tried to get a rush back to partner in corner 1, putting red deep. Because any sort of rush he gets now is going to be quite long. Decent takeoff, but this is more difficult than the hoop 1 he failed. Now, I don't want to run this to the boundary. It's a really difficult shot if you run this to the boundary. That's got a little bit of wire. But again, for me, this length of rush, hitting it hard enough to get down to yellow, really decreases my likelihood of hitting it straight. And Ben isn't really a power player. He's very good at mid-length roquets, mid-pace. That's his strength. And hitting something really hard, this is really quite a difficult shot. Yeah, and it's finished in no man's land. It's gone to about to hoop 5. And now he's going to have to play some sort of good takeoff. Either, I think, probably going to partner, because he can risk going off the lawn there. And the partner's in the lawn a bit, whereas this yellow is almost on the yard line still. So I think be attacking and go and get a rush on partner back to yellow. Positive shot. And if he gets that, he should get a break. Other games that are going on this morning, we've got Callum Highland in play. And they're playing a 3-player for 1 place knockout. So the loser of Callum's game will be eliminated. And the winner will go through to effectively play a best of 3 1-up against, I think, Jordan Waters, from memory. Anyway, Ben's lined up this takeoff to partner, and he needs to play it positively. Don't finish short on this. I don't think that's quite good enough. Did it go into it?
No.
No, in that case, it's going to be great. Thought it was just going on that line to go into it, so this is perfect. It's very difficult not to rush this into the right place. It's so close to it. So a great opportunity now. That's rushed just a foot north of yellow, which isn't ideal, to be honest. You can play a thick takeoff that moves blue in lawn and gets out of the way of rushing yellow to hoop 3. But you won't get blue yards into the lawn, which he could have done if he'd rushed it into 4th corner. The fact that yellow is just a few inches off is a big help. He can now get blue 2 or 3 yards in with a stop shot. All the focus on partner ball. Sorry, the striker's ball. Get that rush to hoop 3. And if he makes hoop 3, he's got enough balls in lawn now to get a break. Yeah, so going back to the whole tournament, your sort of pre-tournament favourites, your Fletcher, your Essex, your Bamford, your Fulford. I'm still not 100% that any of those 4 are on top form. And the top players will use the block play simply as a warm-up. They won't be worried about not qualifying. They'll be looking at doing various things, whether it's trying to go around 3rd turn, or I know Rob yesterday was trying to pop to hoop 3. The one thing which we haven't really seen is any attempt at sextuples. And Reg's sort of big advantage he has over a lot of players is he's very, very good at sextuples. And if that is taken out of his armoury, that does weaken him a wee bit. So I know James Deeth has had a couple of goes at sextuples, hasn't got very far. That's a lovely rush to hoop 3 from Ben. Super shot. Yeah, so, I mean, yesterday in this Samir Patel v Robbie Fletcher game, after Samir had his first ball to 4 back, Robbie got in and went to 1 back, which is what he tends to do. So the idea being if Samir misses, he'll have a TPO and peel Samir out, peg him out, and potentially get 1 or 2 peels on partner as well, and then peg 2 balls out. So that's something which I think we'll see Robbie do during the event. Yesterday, as it happens, Samir hit the 30-plus yard shot, which gives him a standard triple, which he then put down. So yeah, not a lot of multiple peeling turns. A couple of failed ones from James Deeth. And Rob had a go yesterday afternoon, Rob Fulford. I think he might have got 3 peels. No one looked like completing one yet. So Ben's made the hoop. No forward rush. And he hasn't dug this ball a long way out of corner 4. So he's going to need a good pass roll here to send a ball to 5 and get a rush on the other ball to corner 4 or hoop forward work. Yeah, that's the top 4 players talked about. We've obviously mentioned Kyle Maloof, who's done very well. Zach Watson's looked strong as well. Obviously used to playing in this type of condition. Tom Balding, I think, is not... Oh, that's a real surprise to me. So he's done that, and I presume what he's going to do is now just play a croquet stroke, getting behind the red ball. I'd normally try and rush red to blue. I think he'll take off here rather than playing a croquet stroke. He'll be happy enough to leave blue behind. And the takeoff is easier than sort of rolling blue out, getting behind red. But yeah, sort of next level down that, Kyle Maloof, Zach Watson. Zach's ranking's going to be high enough to get him a top 4 seeding place. And that's obviously a big advantage. Tom Balding hasn't quite looked as strong as I thought he was. He's struggled to run the hoops with control. Very good when he's using power, hitting the ball very straight. But you've got to have control at some stage, and Tom just hasn't quite had it yet this tournament. Logan McCorkindale, he's had a couple of triples. Good shot. He could trouble the top players later on. So Ben's got a reasonable rush to hoop 4. Good hoop 5 Pioneer. And should be starting to settle now into this game. After that failed hoop 1. Players who've done really, really well from lower positions. I think we should mention Mo Karem. Obviously, one of the top Egyptian GC players, but I think he's won 3 games. Now, that's really quite impressive for someone who doesn't play this code. First AC tournament. Fantastic. And I've watched him play, and he knows what he's doing. He tries to set up triple peels, and his croquet strokes just obviously aren't quite good enough at the moment, and he's got fantastic single ball shots to make up for it. But for all you golf croquet players out there who are a little bit unsure about AC, go and give it a go. It'll help your GC game. Little backward takeoff here now for Ben. Other people who've done well from a lower seeded position, Greg Hill. So Greg Hill from Australia had a really good tournament. Done extremely well. Ewan Burridge, again from a lower seeded position, has done very well to qualify. And there have been multiple good performances. Some top players struggling. As Ben, a past silver medalist in this event in a playoff game. The one thing about feeling as if you've almost been knocked out of the tournament and then managing to play your way back into the knockout is you often enter the knockout with a sort of weight lifted off you. Anything you achieve after that is a bonus. So people could find that Ben is a very, very dangerous opponent in the knockout if he's able to clinch his spot in this game. Reese McCorkindale, qualifier, made it through to the knockout. Fantastic performance. And in general, the Kiwis as a whole have done fairly well. One of the surprises so far is Dwayne McCormick being knocked out. Dwayne played his first McRobertson Shield last time and has got better since then. More confident, more peeling, and a bit of a surprise to see Dwayne eliminated. The sort of backstory behind this is in the next month or so, the nations will all be picking their McRobertson Shield teams, and most of the countries have a sort of open space that they're looking at who's the best player to fill it. And lots of people in this tournament will be trying to stake a claim to that, and Greg's done very well so far for Australia. So Ben's now got a standard 4-ball break. I'm anticipating he'll go to 4-back with a diagonal spread. That's what he tends to do. And I anticipate Lockie will take the same shot he took 4th turn from corner 3 down through Ben's balls towards corner 4. But this next period should be fairly routine. Got a good hoop 5 and hoop 6 Pioneer. Settled. Just a chance to get a few croquet strokes under your belt. Keith Wiley was always keen to, once you've got a break set up, almost make it a little bit more difficult for yourself so you get to practice some shots. which I think is like getting rushes out of hoops that you don't need to do from here because you've got all the balls in lawn. But can you do it? Helps you later on get the touch when you're playing your triple peel, and you want to get that forward rush out of the hoop then. Stephen Allen's come through the qualifier, and I think he's picked up a couple of wins, so he's had a nice tournament. One of our key guys in Croquet England who does a fantastic job producing the live streaming at Hurlingham, and you can look forward to that again next year, where Stephen will be head of operations for our live streaming team for them at Robertson Shield. Always a really good job he does. And it's going to be a fantastic event. That America's going to have their strongest ever team. Australia strong. New Zealand are going to be strong. Logan McCorkindale's going to get his first chance in the MAC. Really very, very good player. And then, they've got a whole set of 5 other people to, play alongside him. Paddy Chapman, world-class player. Logan and Paddy at 1 and 2. You've got the experience of Aaron Westerby in the middle. Obviously Jenny's had a fantastic year, so New Zealand's going to be really strong. Webby and Fordyce, the youngsters, hoping to improve on their performances last time, which was a very good start for both of them in their initial Robertson Shield. And then England. And the great thing for England is they've got Fulford back. First time since 2013. Rob coming back to play in that very, very strong team. So 4 great teams, and it'll be a series of fantastic test matches. Do come along and watch either live or on our live stream channel. Ben's got nice control of this break. I think after 1 back, we'll start to see him put balls towards the peg, preparing for making the diagonal spread. So half the lawns here cut every day, and the other half rolled every day. They're producing a really good surface to play on. I do think the top echelon of players will start to make them look easy. The peeling's always going to be a little bit more difficult because of the pull, but the top players will be able to organise their breaks so that the peels are played from very short range with straight stop shots. So that's putting the escape ball in a different position to what you might do normally. And negating the effect of the pull. So I am expecting the TP percentage to go up as we enter probably the last 16 rather than the first round of the knockout. Now Ben's got partner at 2 back, which is a good place for it to be. Sent the first opponent ball near the peg, and he'll go and tidy that up after 2 back. Ben substantially improved, in my perspective, from when he played in the 2009 final here. I felt he was very loose, poor break player then, incredibly good shot. but over the last 16 years has become a much tighter break player. And you see he's just approaching all these hoops from a few inches fairly straight. And that's the level of control you need to play consistently well. It's not all about hitting the ball straight. You've got to be able to do everything in the game. Now, rush back to the peg and tidy yellow up. Putting partner probably 5 or 6 feet east of the peg. You see all these lawns at the NCC sponsored. This one is show lawn by Randy and Bev Cardo. I think Bev's taken over as president from the late Damon Biden-Cope. We had a lovely celebration of life for Damon on the Friday before the tournament. Lots of videos and live speeches. Damon did so much for the game. So he's got yellow more or less where he wants it. A little thin takeoff down to 3 back, and he should be fine. Leave making is going to be one of the crucial factors. I've seen a few of the sort of mid-level players just leave 10, 11 yarders because they haven't got the balls crosswired. Whereas the top players will get this right 99 times out of 100. Nice shot again, good touch, lovely rush to 3 back. Again, be approaching the hoop from fairly straight. He'd like to get a forward rush out of 3 back so he can approach yellow from closer. You probably see him punt red north of the hoop. Give himself a little bit more room to run the hoop and get a rush. That's a nice stop shot. Plenty of room now to run this by 4 or 5 feet and still get a useful rush. So that's okay. You can just rush that 3 yards further west and he's got a nice line to come up to the yellow. Got to be careful not to put red too far north here, or else the shot from B-Bolt becomes quite short and attractive. So that's a bit short, really, I would say. In between the line of 1 and 2, you'd normally have it much closer to the boundary than that. It's certainly a shot that I'm going to look at, is yellow at red from B-Bulk. It's not mega short, because it's quite a long way south. But it could well be your shortest shot. And on this type of, comparatively easy playing surface, you want to be taking shots that you think you're going to hit. You don't just want to take the long lift going down to corner 4 to defensify a ball. You need to make her okay. And certainly yellow at red is one I'm going to walk up there and do a fancy that. It's not long. Should be sort of 4 yards further west. from what I've seen of Lockie, I don't think he's going to take the shot I'm looking at, this yellow at red. I think he will lift one of them and take the shot from third corner area down through black and blue. I'm not sure it's the right shot against Ben.
Chris, do you think Ben has left that shot right in front of two so that it encourages Lackland to lift red and leave him that yellow ball by the peg to rush to one?
I don't think so. I think it's because after three back, he rushed to a slightly imperfect spot and couldn't quite get it as far west as he wanted, going to the ball at the peg.
So we may be giving him more credit than
I think
it may have just been a situational thing.
Yeah, I think so. The one thing about red at hoop 2 is if yellow lifts and takes a short shot, Ben can rush partner to hoop 1, and it's a standard triple straight away. Right. He has no work to do. So that's a threat of if you want to take the short lift at black and blue from A bulk, you can obviously still lift the red ball and do that. They're so far south, I think this is another mistake. So having given the fairly short lift shot away from B bulk, that's yellow at red, he's now
given a shorter shot from the A bulk.
Yeah, and it's so far away that you're never going to take that shot from B bulk. It's level with hoop 4.
Right.
So he's almost forced Lockie into taking a short shot. And whereas you should be trying to encourage him to be overly defensive and take a really long one. So any shot from B bulk at black and blue is wrong. It's just too long. You can either shoot at black and blue from A bulk with red, or you can shoot yellow at red from B bulk. They're the only two options I've got that I'm even thinking about. Everything else is just wrong.
He's got to go a long way back to get a double, doesn't
he? Yeah, but very good that he's looked at that. Sometimes you can go 7 or 8 yards back and get a nice target, something with a ball and a half in the middle of it. I always like that. I always shot at the left-hand ball, and it's a little bit of gap. My miss was on the right.
He's going to take that double.
Okay, well, that's fine. It's a nice aggressive shot, and he's lifted the correct ball. So nothing wrong with that. Shooting at black and blue from A bulk. Whether you take the short shot as a single ball or a longer shot as a target.
He's not much over a yard outside that corner.
Yeah, it must be a really nice double target.
Maybe a foot outside the corner.
In the middle of black. He's been a little bit unlucky there, just moving blue 2 yards south of where black's gone off. He'll have to play a good touch shot now to get a rush back to yellow. But yeah, nice aggressive choice of shot. I don't want anything long as a single ball there. Either take a short shot as a single ball or a longer shot at a double, and he's found what he fancied, and he's hit it nicely in the middle. And one of the things we haven't seen a lot of so far, Michael, I should say we're joined by Michael Albert here, tournament director, done a fantastic job in the months leading up to the tournament, and he's sorting all the side issues out day by day. As well as you're on the hoop team as well, aren't you?
I am indeed.
That is one of the teams I do not want to be on. My word, they're here early in the morning banging 36 hoops in new holes and another 36 in old holes. It's not a job I'd want to do anymore. But yeah, we haven't seen very many TPOs.
I don't think we've seen a single one yet.
I think there has been one. I'm trying to remember who did it. But I think, yeah, it is very, very low. I expected one yesterday when Robbie stopped at one back, but obviously Samir hit the 30-yarder.
Right.
so we didn't get that one. I've been very anti-TPO. I've been quite vocal about I like going to 4-back, making a good new standard leave, or doing some popping going to 4-back. But I do think you need a bit of variety. And when I was playing longer matches, either best of 3 or best of 5, if I got 1 or 2 games down, I liked doing a TPO just to try and get the rhythm on my side again so I could control the lawn.
Lackland has landed that yellow ball directly behind hoop 1.
Yeah, it's a great shot, and he needs to settle, get his first break under control. I'm not expecting a TPO. But a nice tight break to 4-back with a good forcing leave. So if you make a new standard leave with the opponent's 4-back ball on hoop 4, then any shot they take with their hoop 1 ball gives you a standard triple. So that's what I'm looking for this turn. He's got a cuttable rush back to corner 4 to dig out this black ball. And he's played it really well. That's a super rush. Hasn't quite hit it as hard as I would like, but the direction was great, and he'll be able to take off behind black from there. A nice... I always like these games where you get lift shots hit. Makes the game far more interesting. That what's he going to do? Is he going to do some popping? Is he going to do to 4-back? Can he get to 4-back with that leave that creates some polarity? I encourages them to not play their hoop 1 ball. And a nice takeoff there. Lovely rush on black, and he's got all the balls under control. Lockie, clearly a sort of lower ranked player compared to Ben. Not as much experience. If he does get to 4-back and he does make that good leave, that'll be a great turn. Really important to get the leave right, though. The opponent's going to be walking on thinking, if I hit, I can win. I can make the knockout. But both these players are going to be under serious amounts of pressure. We've mentioned the sort of physical side of the game. Can people make good leaves? Can they get rushes out of hoops? Can they do delayed triples or any sort of triple, getting the escape ball in the right place tactically to allow a straight peel? But 50% of the game at this level is played between your ears, and how you handle being under pressure is going to be a key element as we progress through the tournament. Lots of potential storylines in this event. Could this be the first ever AC World Championship won by an American? Could it be third time lucky for Matthew Essick? Could Reg Bamford win his 6th world title and tie Robert Fulford again? Or could Robert become the first to a spectacular 7 world championships? Could we have the first Spanish world champion?
Pepe's playing
Pepe's had a good set of block games. He's got a new mallet as well as Pepe Riva. Just in case people don't know, Pepe is the name he normally goes by. This is Jose Riva from Spain. Everyone calls him Pepe. And he's got a new mallet that's been tested in wind tunnels and meant to be better playing in the wind. It's got different bits of material on in certain spaces, so if you hit it off-centre, you get a better result. He explained all the technicalities to me, so lots of mallet development going on at the moment as well. I know Reg Bamford's had one tested in a Formula 1 wind tunnel. So it's good to see constant innovation in the game. You
I believe Reg referred to that. He thinks it's going to be the mallet of the gods.
Well, I've heard him say it's going to cost £5,000. So
Well, that would be the mallet of the gods, in my opinion.
yeah, I'm not sure how many people are going to play that. And when I stopped playing 9 years ago, I was at that stage. I was still the only player in the top 100 to use a piece of wood.
I got a piece of wood.
Well, most people say they've got a piece of wood, but then they've actually got end faces made of a different material.
Oh, I do have that.
Yeah, I've got a piece of wood where the end is wood. And I always liked that. I always felt I got a greater feel off the mallet. Helped me improve touch. But I do acknowledge that these modern mallets with better moments of inertia do help you swing straighter.
The late Damon Bidencope was playing with a 9-inch mallet that he bought probably 40 years ago.
Right.
Gosh, half of the face on one end was chipped off, but he loved it.
Yeah, but David Openshaw used a mallet that was almost sort of concave in the middle. He'd used it for so long. But yeah, I don't think I've seen a single player here use what we'd call an old-fashioned mallet. All this modern technology of carbon fibre, peripheral weighting, is what people are using. So Lockie's got his nice 4-ball break now. I'd prefer to see him run hoops like that a little less hard. I don't want to have these... I know they're short, they're only 3-yarders, and with the modern mallets, very few people miss them. But it's the sort of game where you are under pressure, and you don't want to have 3 and 4-yarders during your turn. Keep it under control. The break should be getting better the longer it goes rather than worse.
Squeeze by 3 here to get all the way to blue at 4.
No, he's going to yellow.
Oh, he's going to didn't see yellow.
So it should be okay.
It's off the screen here for me.
It's a nice shot. He's played it well. He's done 2 things. He's got a decent hoop 5 pioneer, but to me, more important than that, he's got a rush on yellow. So that if the black at hoop 5 hadn't been good, he could send yellow there because he's got a rush on it to a nice position. So controlling both balls really important. And I should say, one of the things I haven't particularly mentioned is the heat. It's much hotter. If you go and Google a weather forecast here and it says it's 28 degrees, that is what it is going to be. It's going to be 28 degrees. It's going to feel like it's 38 degrees due to the humidity. And to me, I much prefer playing in Egypt in 42 than I do in Florida in 28. It's a much more dry heat in Cairo. Whereas if I'm out there for 10, 15 minutes, I'm really sweating. So all these players who are playing long turns, you play a ball to 4 back, your opponent misses a lift, and then you've got another 12 hoop turn to make. They're going to be out there for 45 minutes at a go. And the slow players are going to be out for an hour and a quarter at a go. And it really does sap your energy as the day goes on.
Between that and the sun, we've had very little cloud cover. It's important to stay hydrated.
Very much so. I mean, I'm probably only spending an hour a day in the sun, and I'm drinking 3 times the amount I would at home.
You should come out and join us on the hoops in the morning and be amazed how much more you'll drink.
I'm sure. I've done that in my time. Probably setting 6 lawns at United is the equivalent of 24 lawns here. Not to diminish the huge task you have every morning.
No, but these lawns are quite easy to set the hoops into.
Slightly overhit that again. I don't want this cut rush. Don't want to have to approach it from the side. I don't want to have to approach it from 4 or 5 feet away. It's just a little bit loose, that. And interestingly, it almost looks like he might not be putting partner at 2 back here, because he's put that out to the side. Normally we'd run hoop 5, hit partner, which is yellow in this case, send yellow to 2 back, getting a rush on the other ball. So I don't know what he's going to do here. If you rush yellow to 2 back, it's just a much less accurate shot. If you croquet it there, you know the direction it's going to go in. If you rush it there, you've got to play a good shot. Yeah, he's overcut that if that was a rush to 2 back. Now I'm going to put that into my pivot. And I'm going to go to black and put black to 1 back.
I'm just going to put a heavy takeoff on this, move it up a little bit.
Yeah, I want to move it at least a peg high.
Yeah.
So that yellow's in the wrong place, and he's overhit the red. That's just the break's getting worse. And you watch the good players, the break
Gets
after
tight
hoop
by
1
now.
gets tighter.
Just little stop shots.
Yeah. These are the things which I'm looking for.
Now he's approaching from off the rush line.
Yeah, and it's not the best hoop 6 pioneer from where he's approaching it from. Much rather it was south of the hoop. He's put red down a good line, and he's got the weight spot on as well. So that's a
Turned
very
out
good.
Pretty good.
And the 1 back pioneer is absolutely acceptable as well. So a good shot there. So thinking of the leave I'm going to try and make, we're going to try and put the black ball just off the wire of hoop 4. So black's the ball I want to go to 3 back. That's the number 1 priority in my head at the moment. Black to 3 back.
So he's an NSL guy.
I don't know, to be honest, what he is. But if he makes a diagonal spread, that doesn't create any polarity. There's nothing making Ben not lift his hoop 1 ball.
Sure.
He can take a defensive shot with either ball. So whereas if you make the NSL, that's the only way in the standard leaves to force a ball to play. There are more complex leaves. You could put a ball on the back of hoop 1 on the wire of 2 back. I'm not expecting Lockie to do anything that complex. And there's other leaves you can make that involve popping, and I don't think he'll do that either. But I do want to see him make 3 back off the black and put that 4 back ball on the wire of hoop 4, or just off by a few inches so it'll rush to hoop 1. This is the blue he's taking croquet from now, isn't it?
Yes.
So I want that directly behind the hoop. I don't want it there. I want to be able to hit blue first after the hoop, leave it up there, get a rush on black, down the lawn, croquet black to 3 back going to yellow. Whereas it almost looks
I
like
think he's getting ready to do a mom leave here.
But he's doing it the wrong way round if he
I
does.
know, but I
Blue
think
should be
that's
at
what
2. And he can run the hoop and just hit blue. Normally you'd play to have hit the nearer ball first. So I want him to hit blue now. Good. That was good. He spotted the fact that he needs the balls the right way around. Now, whilst I criticise Ben for leaving this ball up by hoop 2 too close to B-bulk, it's a little bit different for Lachlan. So, if he ended up getting Ben to shoot black at blue from B-bulk, whilst it is short, he would have got him playing his 4-back ball. So it's not actually as bad a ball as it might first look. Providing he gets black nicely over to 3-back and just off the wire at hoop 4, he won't be too worried about if Ben lifts black and shoots at blue from B-bulk, because it gives him the world if Ben misses, and if Ben hits, you know he's got another shot anyway. So blue's okay there.
Lachlan's had pretty good control on these croquet shots. He's landing it where he's got decent rushes.
Yeah, you want to rush
pioneer
out of 2-back. You don't want to have to roll over there from 2-back. So, yeah, that's a good cut to the hoop. Well. That should help. He can send this east of the hoop, give himself plenty of room to run the hoop into, and have a rush over towards hoop 4. And Lockie's actually in a similar position to Ben in that, he was in a bit of trouble. He had a last round match against Ewan Burridge.
Perfect rush to 4.
Yeah, it's good, isn't it? And Ewan had just beaten Jack Good with a triple peel, and Lockie came and beat Ewan to get his chance against Ben in the playoff. So he'll again be thinking, this is all positive. If I can get through this, everything else is just a bonus. And if you play carefree croquet, you can be really dangerous player in the knockout.
It's a funny old game, this, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And we still don't know whether Jeff's going to play best of 3 or best of 5. I don't think he's yet made a decision.
I don't think he's announced it yet.
So the plan pre-tournament was to play best of 5 from the first round of the knockout. But because play's taken a bit longer than normal, Jeff's certainly quite rightly considering going back to a best of 3 first round. And I guess how today pans out will determine that. And if you're a top seed playing one of these bottom 8, the first round is one of the most nervy rounds you've got playing best of 3 if it turns out to be that way. Whereas if it turns into a best of 5, you're always really quite confident. So we need to get black accurately positioned here. And that's a long way away from the hoop.
Yeah.
I don't mind it being that far away from the hoop if it's a bit narrower than that. But he needs to run this past it. This is not good. This is not good. Now he's going to have to position this from a long way away.
The danger here is he runs it right into the wire, and then he can't rush it to 1.
That's the lesser of evils.
Yes.
Anything that involves black not being able to hit you on the boundary at the moment, I'm taking. I don't want to give black a short shot.
And these hoops are so springy here in this ground that if it hits the wire, it's more likely to bounce off.
I'm playing this to stop short. I'm just going to try and get it to stop about 4 inches short. Overhit it.
Oh, he stuck it on the wire, though.
Well, maybe he's deliberately played it at the middle of the wire. I have to say, it's a very aggressive shot choice. And as you mentioned, if it hadn't been dead in the middle, it could have just pinged off 3 or 4 inches. As it is now, it's great. It's great. You'll be thrilled to bits with that. Even if it only rushes 3 yards north of hoop 1, it's a good leave.
Sure.
Black's not going to have anything short. And we want these playoff games to be competitive. We want both players to feel they've had a chance. Even when we've had games that have been 26 TP, it hasn't always told the full story. So, you can't tell from the score exactly what's happened. Ben's failed hoop 1 here.
Right.
You would never know that.
Not when you look at and you see a 0-9.
Yeah. So, there have been errors. often been a few turns before people have picked up a break at the start of the game.
But Lackland ran a pretty solid break here. He hasn't made any mistakes. A couple hoops got a little loose, but he was in control most of the time.
Yeah, it's been fine. So one of the interesting things you'll be looking at here is where does he leave his rush to? So if blue is a sufficiently good hoop 2 partner for him, he can leave the rush pointing just north of hoop 1. That allows him to, if black lifts and shoots through to corner 4, which is the defensive option, you'd be able to rush straight to hoop 1 off partner. And that obviously means if you don't make it, you haven't given the opponent a really short shot. It also means the Peely goes to 4-back after making hoop 1. But if he thinks blue isn't a good enough hoop 2 pioneer, he'll leave a rush pointing at blue.
We don't have a great camera angle on black, but it looks like black is just center ball on that wire. I'm pretty sure it's not going to rush straight across the court. It's going to be 3 or 4 yards.
Yeah, I think that'll rush 3 yards north of the hoop.
Yeah, I think so too.
That's adequate. Lovely picture angle there. That's a great close-up of these Invictus balls.
Invictus, by the way, is one of our sponsors of this event. They're making some very unique 3D printed aluminum and titanium mallets today, as well as these balls that are becoming more of a standard issue in croquet clubs around the country.
So he's done something very unusual here. He hasn't left a rush.
Yeah.
And that's what most people think. Why hasn't he left a rush? And I'm going to say he has left a rush. He's left a rush at corner 4. So that means any long lift shot that Ben takes, he can now rush to where it misses to. So we know Ben wants to lift the blue ball.
He is giving up a double from only about 3 yards offline.
Correct. And I think that's going to be the shot Ben takes. If he doesn't take the double, and I do think he will take that, he'll take the single ball shot from the end of A bulk. But I think this double is attractive. I think it's an error. We'd already said that Ben wasn't going to have any short shots with blue.
Right.
And now this is effectively, I regard this as about a 15-yarder. It is what? It's about a 28-yard double.
It's a perfect double.
He can make whatever target he wants out of it. And having done all the good work, the choice of where to leave red and yellow has really ruined what was going to be quite a good leave. I want to have a rush to either hoop 1 or the blue. And I think there's a chance Ben might have played the black then. But if he didn't, you'd get a standard TP. This doesn't even 100% guarantee a standard TP. And it's so much shorter as a shot. So we should get a decent camera angle to watch this. I'm in a great position. We're in the first floor of NCC, and it's very high ceiling. So we're actually quite high up, aren't we here, Michael?
We are. I think we probably are 20, 25 feet up in the air. With a bird's eye view right down just to the pretty much in line with 3 and 4.
Yeah, I've got a great view of this double target. And Ben's just quite rightly checking it from both sides. There's nothing worse than going through the middle of red and yellow because you've left too big a gap. You want to leave the maximum possible target. Really important shot. I expect him to hit it. Oh, he's narrowed his target a bit, so that's definitely not going to go through the middle.
So we're sitting directly above Ben's head right now, looking out the window above him.
You can almost treat this like hitting a 6-yarder, and he's really good at hitting 6-yarders.
One of the best.
A nice, smooth stroke. It looks like he's swinging a bit firm to me.
That's pretty typical for Ben's swing. He always will cast 3 times, lock it down, and then his head never moves.
He's missed. That was never anywhere near it. That's 2 balls to the right. Now we've got some fascinating potential options here. Lockie's left this rush to corner 4. And if he rushes red into corner 4, he's going to get a cannon. And there's an enormously powerful cannon available.
So, Chris, I know that most of our viewers are probably experienced croquet players, but for those that are not, why don't you explain what happens with a corner? It's a very, very powerful offensive shot.
Yeah, so if yellow rushes red into the corner, red will be placed in contact with blue, either on the left-hand side of it, the south boundary, or the... Oh, that's the left-hand side from the south boundary. So either on the south boundary or the east boundary, in contact with it. And then you can pick the blue ball up and put your yellow ball and the blue ball anywhere around the red you want. And it allows you to play a massive variety of shots. And in this example, the really powerful shot it would allow you to play is to line them all up, all 3 balls pointing at hoop 1, and play a half roll, sending the blue ball to hoop 1 without rotating it.
So explain that it's critical that Lackland hits red into the corner right here. And he hasn't. He's missed it by 2 yards.
That is massive, because, yeah, if you can put them all in contact and promote blue to hoop 1 without rotating it, going to the black ball, all you've got to do then is tap the black ball, croquet it to hoop 2, going to blue at hoop 1, and you've got a 4-ball break.
And you got a perfect rush coming out.
So now he's going to have to play the standard croquet stroke out of corner 4. And I want to move red. I'm going to move red 5 yards in lawn here. Not going to try and get a rush on the blue. Just move red 5 yards in lawn and hit blue. And that, to me, is too defensive of red.
And he's not come up with the rush either.
Not that fussed about the rush, because we practiced the shot out the corner. So everyone should have this in their armoury. Almost playing it from the corner is better than playing it from a yard out the corner, because you know that shot. You know exactly what you need to do. But red, if he does make hoop 1, he'll be kicking himself because it's too defensive.
I lost a critical game a couple of years ago when I gave up a contact lift, put balls in all 4 corners, and the opponent picked up, went right there, rolled up to hoop 1, and put together a successful break.
So blue's a little bit short, but yellow's good. And now, can he rush this, 3 yards north of hoop 1, a little bit to one side? Or can he do better? Oh, he can do better.
He's got a good shot.
So that was a really good black.
Gone a little far.
That's not bad at all. Now I think red is in completely the wrong place. If red was 5 yards in lawn, he would have a standard triple ahead of him. Mm-hmm. And now he's got to get a rush back to corner 4 to have that. Any rush to the south boundary would have been good enough otherwise. So red is not where it should be. How much effort is he going to put into completing a triple? Or is he going to just try and do a 9-12-5?
9-12-5, right.
Woo, that's okay. That's a lovely shot.
And he's put black deep enough that he can run this with conviction and get the rush back to the corner.
Yep. That's a good hoop approach.
Well done.
Nervy. Didn't get it far enough through, and now he's going to probably be punished a wee bit. If he can cut this over off the east boundary, level with hoop 5, he'll be able to load 4 getting a rush on red. And he hasn't tried to. So again, nothing wrong in that. He can send this to hoop 3, get the control at hoop 2, and after hoop 2, rush back to corner 4, and he can still do a standard triple. But he does need control at 2 to do that. And as we mentioned before, blue's a few yards short.
I like it though, Chris. He ends up with a nice rush back to 2. He doesn't have a very difficult shot to play here.
It's not bad. He thought he'd underhit it, but it's playable. Half ball cut.
He's
Yeah,
done.
that is not good. Getting a rush out of that corner 4 calls for a thick takeoff, and I think thick takeoffs start reducing your chance of making hoop 2. I think he'll play a thin takeoff. Robert Fulford very good at this shot. Thick takeoff. Yeah, that thin takeoff. He's just focused on making his hoop.
He's going to be hooping Croquet right here. And
Well, it's certainly not going to be a rush to corner 4, is it?
no.
So it's starting to look already like a ball to the peg. No peels.
Oh, and he's stuck.
Oh, it's gone through.
It's gone through.
What a lucky roll.
Wow.
That was incredibly fortunate.
Now he's mighty glad he didn't have a rush to 4.
And Chris Williamson coming out to just watch it. This is a courtesy, really, isn't it?
It is.
If I was playing, in England, I'd have just played this by now. You're not going to fault that. But in a world championship, always better to be just safe than sorry. You don't want your opponent going out. Are you sure you didn't double tap that, or it's off the bevel?
I think it's more likely he'd bevel it than double tap. He's clear through, and he's dead in the center of the wicket.
But it is routine, this. Good thing about his hoop 3 Pioneer is it's almost perfectly placed. So it's about 4 feet west of hoop 3. So a nice ball to go to from hoop 2. But he should have had a standard triple from here. He hasn't. I think this will be a ball to the peg. Ben's going to be faced with a last lift shot, probably against a diagonal spread. So all the good he did in terms of making the leave, negated by leaving a double. He got lucky. Ben played a poor lift shot. And then he hasn't done enough with this red ball. So plays these side style. The bigger the croquet stroke, the more he errs on side style. And these balls pull a lot. And that means that the blue's not going to be aimed at hoop 4. It's going to be aimed a few yards to lock his right-hand side. He's overhit that yellow. The blue is actually quite good because he wants to go to red anyway. So blue's okay there. But yellow was very poor, and now he's going to have to approach from 2 yards away. Just a nervy one, particularly when you know you've almost failed hoop 2.
Right.
You don't want that slightly difficult hoop 3 from an angle. So needs a good hoop approach. Again, side style, like Stephen Forster, and that is a really good shot. No need to get a forward rush. I'm going to try and run this by 4 yards. Give it enough so it gets through. If you catch a bit of wire, that's perfect. Get a 2-yard return Croquet. Take off to red, and then you've got all 4 balls in play. And I think he'll send red to hoop 5. No attempt at a TP. And just focus on a 12 hoop break. Yep, that's good. You have another option here. You can roll black down to hoop 5. Potentially going to blue and rush blue to red. I don't particularly like rolling black to hoop 5 going to red. That's a bit too big a shot for me. So I just take off.
If I'm playing this, Chris, I'm putting blue out. I like a pass roll.
Do you?
If I get level with blue,
Yep.
I'm confident I'm going to hit red, and then with blue on the trap line, I just load 5 and take blue to 4.
Okay.
It's a shot that I practice all the time.
Yeah,
so.
well, play to your strengths. That's really important. Lockie, again, he's playing this big role. I think I'd just settle for a takeoff myself. Unless he is still thinking about a delayed triple, in which case you do potentially need to do something a bit different. So he's got a lot of pull on that black. That black's gone a long way left of where he aimed it, but it's a really good yellow.
Yeah.
And because black's very poor, he'll now send red to hoop 5. But again, if you can rush red a few yards up the lawn, it'll improve the rush line to blue.
No, he's right on blue's rush line.
Always put this to hoop 5. You haven't got a proper hoop 5 pan here. Get one. He's still looking at 4 back. No point in putting this to 4 back.
Triple's not much good if you don't get your break done.
Yeah, if you wanted to be aggressive, you should have been aggressive early. Now you focus on your break. Good decision. Good decision. Overhit it. That's a bad shot. That is a really poor shot. Got another sidey approach coming up here. Lovely approach to hoop 3. Needs the same now at hoop 4. But there's no excuse for not getting a rush on that blue ball. Good hoop approach again. He's got a straight hoop. Again, just give it an extra 2 yards of pace. This hoop shot. And this time he's paid the penalty. But wasn't about the approach, it was about the failure to get a rush to his hoop. And that's off the hoop 1 ball as well, isn't it? So Ben will be licking his lips. He's got a standard triple ahead, assuming that blue hits yellow.
While we're waiting for that, I'd like to do a shout out to our camera crew and live stream production company. The company is I Do Live Streaming. They're based in West Palm Beach, Florida. And we've been very, very happy with the results they're putting on the screen for us.
I don't know. Ben might have gone to the bathroom, a restroom. It looks to me as if blue at yellow is fairly straightforward. If you get blue vaguely in the jaws of the hoop, it will hit the yellow. And then it's quite straightforward to send yellow to 2, going north of red, rush red to the south boundary, croquet in the middle, and rush black to hoop 1. And Ben's got every ball in the world here. This is just a routine standard triple to win.
This is a Christmas present. So, Chris, let's see if we can get some updates while we're waiting on Ben to come back. Let's see if we can see what's going on the rest of the courts.
Well, on lawn 4, the players have finished. And there's only one possible result, which is our fast Callum Highland must have won.
Through.
So I think Callum now goes into his match against Jordan Waters.
That has to be best of 3, is that correct?
Game up with Callum game up. And it's not a best of 3.
Only if he loses.
Correct.
Yes.
But it's not a best of 3 because the tosses don't alternate. It's separate games. So in a best of 3, the winner of the toss in the first game loses the toss in the second game. Here, they're going to play 2 games. If Callum wins the first game, that's it. Jordan's eliminated. Callum's in the knockout. If Jordan wins the first game, they'll play another game as a decider, and they'll toss the coin again for that third game. So a little bit of a technicality, but Callum's going to have 2 bites of the cherry, or just needs to win 1 out of 2 games against Jordan Waters. And that's Callum in our picture now, wandering out with Jordan. And
oh no, he's just coming in.
He's coming in, is he?
He just walked in from court 4.
So was he playing Jordan?
I think he was playing Jordan.
So who do they play? Is it Debbie?
I think Debbie is the third person in that tie.
So Debbie's the one with the least advantage position. So Jordan is now out, and Debbie needs to win 2 out of 2 against Callum.
So we've got a referee watching this strike to make sure he does not hit the wire and move the ball. He must make contact with the ball directly, and he's done so.
Now, I mentioned yesterday I pulled 3 or 4 of the top 8 players out who'd failed to complete a standard triple yesterday. So whilst this is routine and something he's done hundreds of times before, it's not as easy as normal. You're going to have to keep your break under control, get your peelie in the right position, get your escape ball in a position that you can play a straight peel without pull. And when you start playing imperfect shots, it's going to have more of an effect on your break than it might normally. So Callum v Debbie, Michael, quite an interesting game because it's 2 players who use a technique or a grip that we don't recommend. If you watch virtually all the players here, you'll see them playing with their hands together.
And they both use a split grip.
And Debbie's left-handed split and Callum's right-handed split. Callum's even more split than Debbie. Really big difference between the 2 hands. And we recommend this hands together so the swing comes from the shoulders. As soon as you start splitting your grip, you become a lot more wrist dominated. Yeah, bottom hand dominated. So that'll be interesting. And in general, as you get more pressure, the split grip tends to break down under pressure.
You know, Chris, when you say that, though, I noticed when we were at the Solomon and I was watching, I was in the booth looking at the live stream, and we happened to get a close-up of Debbie swinging her mallet. And the center of her mallet face has a depression in it from how many times she has struck that ball dead center. It's just worn a little circle about a ½ inch around, right in the center of her mallet face.
I mean, she's obviously very good from a ball striking point of view in terms of natural ability. I think if you watch her from behind now, there's a significant kink. First of all in the backswing, and then often after she strikes the ball, the mallet skews. And to me, that's technically weak. It's something that I want to avoid. I always had an imperfect backswing, but my forward swing was generally quite good. So, do we know which lawn they're going to go on?
I don't yet. I'm hoping it's going to be one that we can see.
Ben, meanwhile, has made hoop 1. He's going to send partner straight away, all the way up to hoop 3, ready for the 4-back peel. Now, red's in the middle of the lawn, yellow's an adequate hoop 2 par near, a bit towards the corner. Be nice to get a rush on red here, as well as get a good black. Oh, that's a nightmare.
And he's hit the hoop.
Now he's got an 8-yarder. And black was dreadful as well. I mean, black is 7 yards short. That's a really poor croquet stroke. But this is Ben's strength. This is what he does. He hits these shots mid-pace. Can he do it now he's under real pressure here? I think he's going to hit this. But from going to a routine turn, it's now turned up into this questionable long mid-range Croquet. In the
And
middle.
he's nailed it. So
that's where the
Chris,
practice
for me, I
works.
have to take, when I've missed a shot that badly, I have to take 20 seconds, go around, walk in a circle, and get my head back into the game. Ben just immediately walks forward. I mean, it's a sign of a true champion that he can just shake off a bad shot and turn around and deliver a brilliant shot like that.
Yeah, and he's really focused on that. He's very, very good at that length of Croquet, mid-pace. And that's why he's won the World Golf Croquet Championship.
Exactly.
And the World Team Golf Croquet Championship, I should add, as well.
Yeah.
So Ben's one of the players in the tournament that's halfway towards the Grand Slam. And that's what we're looking forward to. Which of these modern players are going to be the first to win all four? And there's Robbie Fletcher's very keen, Matt Essex very keen, Ben Rothman, and we should also mention Blake Fields, who almost put Fulford out of the World Championship 2 years ago. And he's one of the top players who's missing from this event.
He is. Blake has just started his first year at uni. He's at Point Loma University out in San Diego. And I think he made the right decision to put his education first. He just felt that it was too difficult in the first few months of his first year to take 2.5 weeks off and come here and practice and try to do well in this tournament.
He's got many years ahead of him. But yeah, he's one of the names at the moment. You're going, right, who is going to be the first to win the four?
And let's not discount Jack Good's chances of doing that either.
Yeah, he is obviously at the moment on 0 out of 4.
He is.
Whereas Blake's on 2 out of 4. So he's got a head start as Blake.
But Jack put down a solid performance at the Solomon this year.
So he's got 2 ropey old pioneers at hoop 3. They're both 6 yards, 7 yards away from the hoop. He'll be wanting to make hoop 3 off his partner ball, making it easier to put directly behind the hoop for the 4-back peel. So I'm expecting to see yellow be sent to hoop 4, rush red south of black, put red up as an escape ball, rush black to the hoop. So we'll see if Ben does that. But all the catastrophe of the croquet stroke going into hoop 4 has been coped with. You won't want any more 8-yarders in the middle of this turn. In the background you can see Smear Patel practicing there. Some lawns available for players just to have a knock on this. It's not really a rest day, it's a playoff day, isn't it?
It is.
A good rush on red. A good hoop 4 pioneer. So rush red south of black. That's a really, that's 10 out of 10, that croquet stroke. That's really very good. Rushes it south. And send this back up to the hoop in as an escape ball, making sure you don't put it in the way of rushing black to the hoop. And then you need a really good rush. Little bit of a cut rush, and red to me is too
A
far.
little wide.
I want it 2 yards south of the hoop. If you play a straight stop shot peel now, you've just got to tap red and play a roll. And I'd much rather have it south and get a rush on it. And it's overcut that. So that's now directly almost. It's just gone a ball west of the worst possible place. So I think he's going to be okay. From memory, there's a little hill that goes from Ben's right to left. So it's not helping this shot. So he might get a tiny little roll away from the hoop at the end. It's not massive. Let's see how he gets on. That's wide. That's wider than I've played it. So this is significantly more difficult than the hoop 4 that Lockie failed.
It is. He's what, 2 feet back?
Yeah.
Almost a yard.
This is not where I want to be, having played a really good croquet stroke after hoop 2.
It's going to be hard to run this with control.
Now he's got the hoop.
But he's run it hard.
And this is just going to be hitting black. There's going to be no attempt
so he's
to...
delayed now.
Yeah, exactly. Probably a 7-yarder.
Oh, every bit of that. I think it's longer.
This is where you hope to play your lucky card and brush peel it.
Well, if that happens from that distance, it is a lucky card. He should go buy a lottery ticket. He's just going to bang it.
Lovely shot.
And then he's going to croquet it back into position.
Yeah. And for players watching at home, that was a nice pre-shot routine. Stalked it, cast over the ball
3
the
times.
same time,
He never changes that.
looking up between the striker's ball and the object ball, head down, hits through the ball, keeping his head down, and the final part of it, the tempo. Nice, smooth, slow tempo. When you get faster tempos, and we might get to see Callum Highland later on, too fast a tempo for my liking. So he's left black up there. I don't know whether you've still got footage at home. We've just lost our live stream on our monitor here, but Ben's left the black up at 4 back, and he's rushed down to hoop 4. So he'll be sending out a hoop 5 pioneer, going to hoop 4, and then setting up for a delayed triple. And whatever you do, try and get that pre-shot routine. And it could be different for everyone. Some people might just walk up to the ball, look down once and hit it. Some people might swing 4 times over it. I don't like people who swing 20 times over it. That's not being expeditious in play. Felix Webby's another really nice pre-shot routine. Stalks it, 3 swings over the ball, and then hits it. Edmund Fordyce got a very fast pre-shot routine. Walks up to it, sort of swings once, and then thrashes the
If he even swings at all.
Yeah.
Matthew's another one that often doesn't even cast once, just addresses it and hits it.
So he's going to be getting the yellow back up to 4 back, so he can get that peel going to make hoop 6 off the yellow ball. Red, a little bit wide at hoop 5. It's probably 2 yards east of the hoop. It's not great. I used to rush yellow up here, get yellow as a really good escape ball, and then I used to rush black all the way south again and croquet it north, whereas I think Ben will take off from black to red.
Perfect. Center ball.
But again, yellow needs to be in a place where after you've played a straight stop shot peel, you've got a dead straight rush to hoop 6. We don't want to play any of these peels with pull. So you shouldn't have any difficulty with achieving that. Yeah. So it's not a major problem. He can still get yellow where he wants it, hit black, take off to red. I say, I don't think Ben's someone who would have rushed black south like I would have tried to do. So he's just thinking about where his striker's ball's going to finish after the peel. That's what he's pointing with where his mallet is. And he's looking, well, if my ball finishes there, where do I want to have my rush on yellow? So he'll get a very accurate yellow. And the positioning of yellow is more important here than the positioning of black. Because you're going to hit black again before you want it in its final place. Whereas yellow needs to be right straight away here. Okay, so that's where he's decided to have it. In some ways, almost beneficial to have black not straight in front. And then you can come into it from one side or the other. Whereas if you don't get a rush out of hoop 5, and you're going to the ball and it's already dead straight in front of the hoop, it's just a little bit more difficult. Fractionally to the west, and it looks like he's got a rush. Oh, he's got a bit of hill there, yeah, just indicating a little bit of a roll. He can still rush this in front and give himself enough room to get a rush out of the hoop to the east boundary. So, approaching from further than he would like, but it does allow him to punt red down the lawn, and he can run the hoop by 3 or 4 yards then and still get his rush.
These hoops are just difficult enough, Chris, that they've trapped a lot of good players that are trying to run short, controlled hoops.
I've just been thrilled with it. It's a really good test of croquet, this is. And I think on probably both occasions we've been to an NCC in 09 and 16, they've been a fraction too easy. You've had the lawns spot on from day one this year.
Thank you.
And the hoops and the balls have all combined to create what I regard as a true test, and we're going to get a great world champion this week.
Ben has got a perfect rush now with red into corner 4.
Yeah, I'm
three, I mean. Corner
3.
three, I mean.
And I don't think he needs to rush this off the lawn. He just needs to send red to 1 back and hopefully move the striker's ball as short a distance as possible to get tight control on the black. And that's exactly the spot I would have rushed it to. That is spot on. So I think he's back under full control now. And whilst we saw Lockie starting to get a little bit scrappier as the break goes on, Ben is
getting tighter. So we can see that sign in the background. A little shout out to PFC Hoopmaker Mallets out of Australia. They're one of our sponsors for this event. Thank you very much, Peter Coles.
Very, very popular mallets, aren't they? I know lots of our club members really like them. Lots of work gone into designing them and creating a good mallet that for club members, particularly older players, there's less vibration coming through the handle.
And he makes it in 2 different weights. So for some of the people that don't have quite as much strength, he's got that lighter mallet. My wife plays with one. She loves it.
Yep. Yeah, very popular. And we're in a fortunate position in the sport now that we are getting multiple mallet manufacturers. A lot of choice. I didn't have that level of choice back in the 80s. And yeah, all this modern materials being used. Quite an exciting stage of the game.
Chris, I still own my very first mallet, which was a John Solomon mallet.
They were lovely mallets.
Gosh, 9-inch head.
Lignum vitae.
Lignum vitae. 9-inch head that weighed over 3 pounds with little brass strapping around the face of it. A lovely leather grip with lacing on it.
Yeah.
Great mallet.
Yeah, very nice. I won a President's Cup with one of those. So he's just jawsed it. You can see now how important it was to get yellow in the exact space. Blackie had the opportunity to move again. Yellow had to be in the right position straight away.
I like jawsing here on these hoops. They're just difficult enough that it gives him a lot of control when he comes back to it. He can get it after this next wicket.
Well, my first triple peel I did with these balls, these Invictus balls, was a
5 there.
triple peel where I jawsed all 3 peels.
He's for 6, isn't
Yeah, he's for 6. So Ben will want to get a rush towards corner 3 out of this, ideally.
he? Pop that through, roll up, taking it to Penalt and going to his Pioneer at 7.
Good approach. Again, I'm not sure he's going to be sufficiently confident to run this short of yellow. It's a good 14 inches away. I know it's sort of quite straight, but you want to give this a bit extra, I think. Yeah,
And he has.
that's the right pace to run them at. Sacrifice your rush on yellow. You'll be sending black to 2 back now, and it'll be a delayed double to finish.
Well, we've got a lot of players here in this tournament, Chris, that like sending this ball to 2 back after the 4 back peel, and then sending it back to Penalt after they've run 2 back.
Yep, just a standard delayed double. And part of the reason it's been popular is people have been really struggling doing what we call the death roll. That's peeling penultimate, going to your 2 back Pioneer. And if you're going to not be successful at that, well, you might as well have partner at 2 back and play a bit more precision croquet rather than going for the big split roll peels that people have really been struggling to
And that death
get
roll
through.
almost requires you to have a short Pioneer at 2 back anyway and rush the ball
Yeah.
6 or 7 yards.
Yeah. And I mentioned earlier the fact that we're trying to play as many peels without pull. And that's a big pulling peel. You're playing a roll and a split. And it's really quite a tough shot. One of the things you need to just be careful of there is you do move yellow far enough that it's not in your way of sending the ball to 2 back, and he's managed to do that nicely. Can rush this through by 3 yards. And then it is another big pulling shot. He'll have to allow for probably 3 yards of pull on his next croquet stroke. Nicely peeled.
So for those of you players who are just new to the game and trying to figure out what we're doing, this is called a rush peel. He's rushed the ball through on his roquet, and now he's taking croquet.
A big croquet stroke this. Lots of pull on the black. Playing it as a half roll. Right, so blue has gone to... Oh, he's gone into
Blue's
red.
run into red.
So that's not great. And black...
Is a little short.
Yeah, so he won't be thrilled with that.
The good news is he hasn't knocked red directly in line with the hoop, so at least he's got a reasonable takeoff angle.
I just lost the back ball a bit, put too much into that black ball. And the ratio's wrong, isn't it? Because black's
Yeah.
short and blue's long. So
The half roll turned into a bit of a 5/8 or so.
nice takeoff. Good short straight hoop. No need to get a rush on red here. You can afford to run this by 2 or 3 yards. And just rush red off the north boundary.
Red's going to 3 back anyway.
Yeah. So you've got plenty of room. No need to put the hoop at risk.
1, 2, 3. And he stops.
equally important that if you're not comfortable, go back and do it again. This is the pre-shot routine. I talk about golfers often, and I say, first thing, they go up, they get on the tee, and they talk to their caddy, and the caddy will say it's 189 yards, wind off that side. It's a sort of full 9-iron. And if someone clicks a camera when they've done all their pre-shot routine and lining their feet up, they don't just go back and line their feet up again. They go back to the caddy, and the caddy goes 189 yards, wind from this side.
Because it's part of his routine.
Yeah, exactly.
So Ben's going to take red off on the north boundary, so he's pretty much got a straight shot at 3-back that lands him right on the rush line of yellow without having to do much of a split shot here. He's going to want to take yellow up close to black so that he has a perfect rush on black to that hoop.
That's interesting. I'm not 100% sure he's going to do that.
Oh, you're not?
There are two options. There's rushing yellow nearer Penult and leaving it there and taking off to black. Or there's what I would do is I'd rush yellow a long way south.
And croquet
near
back
black,
to Penult.
And croquet black to Penult. And as you quite rightly say, focus on getting to that black ball from nearer. So I'd rush this past the black and croquet it back up. I think that's what he's doing. I think that's the right option. Yeah, that's a good place to rush it to.
So now he's just got a little stop shot, and he's perfectly on line with black. Might be a drive from there. I think he's gone about 7 yards.
Quite a nice croquet stroke to play this. You're drifting past black, and you should get a nice rush on it. Yellow wants to go to the left-hand side as you look at it on the camera, or the right-hand side as Ben plays it of Penult. Main priority on the back ball here. That's good. That's perfect.
Excellent.
Really good. I'm going to want to rush this 6 inches in front. I felt that was a tiny bit jabby.
Yeah, it
Normally he's got-
didn't look like his normal tempo.
Yeah. And he's rushed it in front. It's just maybe 9 inches further back, a foot further back than you
He's
want
a good
it.
4 feet back.
So he's doing something interesting here. He's making sure he knows if the hoop's fractionally offset, where the ball's going to come through on a straight line. And you're allowed to use your mallet to test where that is. You're not allowed to pick up a ball and see how tight a hoop is, but you
Right.
are allowed to use your mallet as an aid.
Well, as the guy that was setting the hoops, I can tell you that we're actually using a drafting square
Okay.
to line up against the carrots, which gives us an absolute perfect square to the hoop at the far side of the court. And these courts are set very, very square right now.
Yeah. So I'd have
Gonna
been
take
trying
this out of bounds.
probably to croquet black 2 feet south the hoop and get a nice rush back. Ben's croqueted it a long way south, and he's now potentially going to run it quite firmly.
Right out of bounds.
So he's not going to get as good a rush to Penult as I would have been trying to. Now, it's okay. It is a rush, but it's long, and it's not quite in the right direction. So if he rushes this in front, it'll be a very good shot. Whereas from where he was trying to get a rush to 2 back, I'd have been hoping to rush in front of the hoop maybe 30, 40% of the time there.
I think just from that distance out, he knew he wanted to run that with conviction. He didn't want to get trapped, especially because that was a lift hoop that he had just gone through, and the worst place in the world to break down at 2 back.
Well, particularly with red at hoop 4, which is yellow's hoop. But yeah, he'll need a good shot now to get this in front. Hit it on the wrong side. So he'll have to roll it in front of the hoop going to yellow. And I think this time he'll take off back to red rather than rushing yellow down and stopping it back. I think we'll see a takeoff. But on your delayed triple, which is this, what Ben's in the middle of doing, the most important rush is the rush out of 3 back. If you don't get a rush out of 3 back, you've got to roll all the way to penultimate and get accurate position on your peelie. Really difficult thing to do. I think we saw Reg Bamford do that on this lawn a couple of days ago, and he finished on the wire of hoop 6. And
So
he
now,
broke down.
do you like yellow where it is, or would you like it a little bit further south for peeling that and going to 4 back?
I'd like it a fraction further north, Michael, so I can play with a stop shot
Okay.
and rush it from where it is. So probably 2 feet close to the hoop and 2 feet further north. So Ben's not going to be able to get it further north, which means he's almost certainly going to have to peel penult with pull. And people have really struggled to do that.
In this case, he may just jaws it there.
Oh, he'll
Get
be happy
shape.
to draws it.
Yeah, get shape.
But lots of people have failed to draws it with
A couple
a
have
pull
bounced
shot.
out. We saw somebody fail 5 times at the 4 back
Yeah.
peel the other day on
Yeah.
this court.
Yeah, no, it isn't easy.
One time it went in the hoop and then popped right back out.
It's a tiny bit short there, but it will give him room to rush red far enough south to give him the chance to get a forward rush. So better than over hitting that shot.
Black is actually +1.
So punting this red quite a long way down the lawn, giving yourself several yards to run 3 back or hoop 9. Nice shot. Again, he's a fraction further away from this. I want to be closer than that. I don't think he's guaranteed to get a forward rush here, despite how far red is through the hoop, past the hoop. He's only got about 3.5 yards to run it into. He needs a good shot here.
It's going
And
to roll past.
yeah, and that's because he was too far away from the hoop. Didn't want to risk blobbing that hoop because yellow's just got a late break then. So he's going to have to play this big roll I mentioned, and it all becomes a little bit messy.
But he's lucky that black is side next to the hoop, so all he's got to do is go a little bit west and nudge that back into position.
One of the difficult things here, Michael, is where red goes. Red would normally go down pretty much exactly the line that his striker's ball's going.
Exactly.
And if you put them down the exact same line, you've always got the risk of one of them finishing blocking the other one.
Reg got choked with that the other day.
Yeah, so things can go wrong here.
He has to put red a little bit wider to the west just to be safe. He doesn't dare go to the east,
Correct.
and he doesn't dare go up the middle because he runs the risk of putting it in the jaws like Reg did.
Yeah.
So he just has to put that ball a little bit looser to the west than he'd like.
So a good shot needed here.
So Debbie and Callum are going to be on court 4. I see them walking. Debbie's walking out there now.
Really?
Callum just played on 4.
There's been too much of that this tournament. And all the things we've just been talking about the problems about where red goes, is why Ben's taking time over this. And he's decided in the end to do something completely different. It looks like he's going to send it
Lay it to the
miles east. Really long way east.
So he's going to get it deep, and he's going to use it after he goes through 4-back.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I just think he wants to get it out of the way completely. Out of the way of hoop 6, out of the way of yellow, and out of the way of his own ball as it goes to black. Now, it's completely legitimate sending it wide here. Now he's narrowed it up a bit again. If you send it towards yellow, there are lots of horrible places it can end near yellow.
It's just got to be north of that hoop, wherever it is.
But you normally try and send red 2 yards south,
right.
West.
But that spot's already...
That's already... Well, it's dangerous. It's dangerous.
Red's gotten it far enough that it's out of the way.
That's okay. Blue is a yard short.
That's exactly where Reg was trying to go the other day and ended up in the jaws.
Yeah. I think he can rush this in front, and red won't be in the way of getting a rush on yellow to 4-back. Can he play a nice half ball, gentle cut?
Gentle cut rush.
No, it's in the middle.
Cut. So he'd be delighted with the jaws here.
Yeah, anything that hits the hoop and finishes within 2 inches is good. Looking at this line, something that Jenny does this. She goes and sort of looks at where she wants her ball to finish. And it helps to visualize the shot better. And it's quite a narrow roll, this. The danger being that black hits the near wire, bounces out and hits blue again. So I'm going to play it as a pass roll.
Right.
I'm hoping that blue is going to be past level with the hoop by the time black bounces anywhere. So really I'm going to play probably 150% pass roll here.
150% pass roll on a 2.5-3 yard shot is a deft touch.
Yeah, that was one of the things I could do. I was reasonably good at that. I'm probably going to aim it just outside the near wire. A lot of these players are still using an element of guesswork. We're so new with the Invictus balls. Let's see how well Ben does. So yeah, his hands are well down the mallet.
And he's bounced.
But blue was past it just in time not to get the double contact, and he's got a lovely rush to 4-back.
So it drew enough that it actually, I believe if we get a chance to see a replay on that, we'll see that I think it hit the far wire.
So now we're down to a straight double. And there comes a stage, due to the difficulty of peeling these balls, that you need to think about, am I going to just stop peeling? And Jenny managed to finish from a worse position than this yesterday. She played the penult peel and it bounced 2 yards to the side. But she ended up rushing it 2 inches dead straight in front. And she was about to abort the peeling turn had it not been that perfect rush in front of penult. And I think that's probably what Ben should do. One of the things I'm tempted to do here is rush yellow level with the peelee and bombard the peelee in front of the hoop.
We saw Matthew try that early in the week.
So he hasn't done that.
And unfortunately, the bombard worked, but the other ball rolled right up into the escape ball.
Oh, right, okay.
And, so he had a very he pulled it off, but it was he gave himself a very difficult shot.
there's a very strong defensive leave available to Ben here. With Lockie on hoop 4, so Ben can lay up tight in corner 2.
11, 12 inside the line.
No, don't want to do that. When they're for hoop 4, I want to be tight in corner 2. I want the 4-back ball in the middle of the west boundary, and the hoop 4 ball somewhere near hoop 4 in the boundary. It's really difficult to pick up a break from there with either ball. But let's see where this shot goes.
Straight double is still on if Ben makes a good rush here. That looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's a good shot. Very, very good.
He's going to Irish this through.
Yep.
Interesting the different ways that people line this up, isn't it, Chris? We see Stephen Mulliner throw himself down face first on the court.
Yep.
Directly in line with the hoop. We have other people look at it sideways.
What you're looking for is the edge of the balls. So the left-hand edges should be inside the left-hand wire, and the right-hand edges should be inside the right-hand wire. And if you do that, the middles should go through the middle of the hoop. That's pretty good. Good length.
And blue has still got another shot, so
Yep.
he can go right on through, hit red.
So it's, the length of those shots has been what been troubling most people. So he's done very well there, and he should expect to finish from here. And again, you're not guaranteed to be Irish peeling over from here. So every time you might be playing a stop shot, you need a deep ball. No need to have a deep ball if you definitely Irish peeling. You can have a side ball and a short straight ball. But because it's so far away from Rover, I think he needs a deep ball here. So red deep, get a rush on yellow to peelee. Means that if it jawses, you can jump over the ball and go off the south boundary, and you've got a reception ball. So red's pretty good.
It's about 3 yards off the boundary.
Yeah, he'll be confident of hitting that should he need to jump over a ball in Rover. Rush this really close to the peelee. And yellow should finish just south of hoop 12 to the side, so that if you just grovel through the hoop, you've got a side ball to hit. But your main focus is on getting a good rush on black in front of the hoop.
And in this case, he really doesn't want yellow directly behind the hoop because he doesn't want black to run into it as he peels.
Looks good.
Perfect.
All about touch here. That's good. And he'll Irish that. That's close enough to Irish, and I expect him to get it without too much trouble. Technically strong player, swings in a straight line, unlike my own. When I was playing poorly, these shots were really difficult because it's effectively like running the hoop from there, but twice as difficult because then the error you make on the direction is doubled due to the croquet stroke.
And this is where we're figuring out the draw on these balls is really going to be important for Ben because this shot's going to draw.
I don't think it is.
You don't? You
No.
think it's going to go dead straight?
It's going to go dead straight.
He's got to aim just at the inside of that far wire.
Yeah, that's where the ball should be pointing. Left-hand side, going inside that left-hand wire as Ben looks at it. Right-hand side, inside the right-hand wire. And then you just pretend you're running the hoop with blue.
Mm-hmm.
and it should all go in a straight line. Wouldn't be surprised to see the blue stop in the hoop like it did.
You're hitting about a half roll on this, Chris?
No, I'm playing a
Drive shot.
Don't hit down on the ball when you're peeling if you can avoid it. So you can either play it as a stop shot or a drive. I'm playing a drive.
And so has Ben.
Yeah, nice
And
shot.
Perfect.
I think he's still in the draws.
He is.
So he taps through. And you can actually see the sweat coming off Ben when the light comes on him. This has been a pressure turn. Lots of people have failed standard triples, so for him to finish that turn under pressure, despite having every ball to start with, he got into trouble, didn't he, Michael?
He did, but again, after four back, he pulled it right together. Do you think he'll try a little bombard here? Or do you
I
think
don't
black
think
is
so.
far enough offline?
Yeah, you can rush it 2 yards away from the peg easily. Don't bother.
Doing anything cute.
Yeah.
It's a little wide.
That's all fine. So good turn this. He'll be thrilled to bits to get into the knockout after having that really sticky start. And going to be one of the players that people are going to want to be avoiding in the draw this evening.
Having played Ben a few times, I can tell you that he's always tough to beat.
Yep.
I was playing a GC game against Ben one time, and he jumped my ball at number 7 from the boundary, and then ran number 8 in the same shot.
Very good. So nice TP. Congratulations to Ben into the knockout. And that'll be it from me.
All right. A little hat toss,
He's happy.
and he's pretty pumped.
And we'll hopefully get another playoff game on the lawn shortly. Thanks, Michael.
Thank you, Chris. I appreciate the help. Okay. He doesn't have another match, but I'm going to see if we have another one that's going to go on here. Okay, this is Michael Albert at the NCC for the AC World Championships. We are going to take a short break, and while we're waiting for the next game to start, we should be back on air within the next 30 to 45 minutes.